Welcome back to their Marvel Snap deck highlight, and today we have one of the most complex sequencing decks in Marvel Snap, one that I refer to as the Beastly Slide here. So our first key card here, the Beast. On reveal, return all your other cards at this location to your hand. They cost one less. Very similar to effect to our next key card here, which is Falcon, which is on reveal, turn all of your one-cost cards in all of your paths back to your hand. We bounce our cards back and forth for a couple of reasons. The first and most direct is Collector gets +1 attack every time a card enters our hand from greater than their deck. So that includes these bounces, as well as Angela, who gets +2 whenever you play a card out to her path, which means we play out some 1-drops and we pick them back up. We can then play them out again, getting Angela easily up into the double digits worth of power. The various 1-drops that we're going to be moving back and forth also generate value and power in different ways. The first of which is our next key card, and that is Human Torch. When this moves, double its power. Something we're frequently going to be doing in this deck is we sequence the Iron Fist out first, we play the Human Torch immediately afterwards, it gets punched over, it doubles up. Then if we pick these two up with Beast or Falcon, we can play them both out again, move the Human Torch, double it from 4 to 8 the second time. If you can pick them up a second time, you put it down the third time, it doubles up to 16 power, double digit power Human Torch, very regular occurrence in this deck. We also have Cloak here as another means to move it around the board. Our fourth and final key card that's critical to this deck is Hood, a -2 power card that on reveal adds you a demon to your hand, which is a 1-cost 6 power thing. Hood, as well as Agent 13, because they're generating cards directly into our hand that aren't from our deck, they also serve as synergy with the Collector. Because our deck does have a small movement sub-theme with Iron Fist and Cloak, we also get to leverage the current Season Pass card Miles Morales as a 5-power 1-cost card in a lot of situations. And then the last card at the very top end of our curve here is America Chavez, 6 energy, 9 stats, but most importantly, we're guaranteed to always draw this card on the 6th turn and not before. So not only does Chavez serve to be this big stat stick that we're guaranteed to draw on the last turn to add a lot of power to a given location where we need it, but Chavez also means that we're effectively drawing from an 11-card deck for the first 5 turns of the game, and this added consistency is really important in those early turns for this deck because you're looking for key combinations of cards, right? You know, we need a Beast or a Falcon to bounce things back to our hand. We need Human Torch with Iron Fist. We need to make sure we find Collector and or Angela early so we can get these powering up to have lots of stats whenever lane Chavez isn't going into. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed these game highlights that I have for you here today. The sequencing with this deck, especially on turns like 3, 4, and 5, when you have a bunch of different 1-mana cards, sometimes they're even 0-mana cards with Beast, and the order in which you play them out matters, so you're making sure you're not overfilling your hand, which is another resource you have to manage with this deck. Remember, Marvel Snap has a hard hand size limit of 7, meaning if you go to return too many 1s back to your hand, they're not all going to come back if your hand's going to overfill. You also have to be thinking, hey, if I'm filling my hand at this given point, does it matter if I'm not drawing a card next turn? There's tons of things to manage, and these games do an excellent job of showcasing that. If you enjoy them, remember to tap that like button and leave a comment down below letting me know what moment was your favorite. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I post deck highlights, other game news updates here 7 days a week, and you wouldn't want to miss anything. But for the rest of today, enjoy some Beastly Slide. Let's do it. All right, well, we have Human Torch into Cloak here. We've got Miles Morales to enable as well. The Spectrum Destroyer deck is phenomenal, chat. It's very, very good. There isn't a problem. Hey, I'm a Taz. They're just a pedantic card game player looking to argue with people. Because that's how card gamers are. Is there a trick for getting boosters for specific cards I want? Cards that are green and white have a slightly increased chance of getting boosters. Okay, so... I kind of just want to deploy a bunch of stuff here to let it get bigger. It could, however, you know what might be right here? I'm definitely playing this here. What if I do this, oh, I can't do both. I kind kind of want to do this into this, so that way I can just play 0 mana demons out at this location a bunch. I'm gonna do that. Morning, Speedwagon. Okay, speaking of Destroyer decks, that is what this opponent is playing. If I play these out, I add 6 here, going up to 19. And then if they Professor X, they lose. They lose the mid. I want to play around Professor X, winning any of these paths for them here. Which means I want to do this first, and then we demon, and then we do this. And now Professor X cannot win them any of these paths. Which is good. And I'm going to have a 0 mana demon in my hand, plus a Chavez next turn to play out. Oh, I should play Hood first. The Hood doesn't really matter, because we're drawing Chavez next turn, and my next turn is Chavez. Free demon anyways. Fully revealing the opponent's deck before the first turn? That sounds lame. Comments. And technically, for bluff equity, playing the Hood out first is optimal, but in actuality, it just doesn't matter. So the problem with snapping here, chat, is they have Daredevil, so I'm not surprising them. This Warpath in the middle. Oh, it's Professor X, but you're losing. Okay, so the Professor X into the path that they're losing means I need to play around Spectrum here, right? So Spectrum is 5 and adds 2 to every ongoing card. So that means they can have 10 here on the right. So we just like do this, and then if they Destroyer here, they lose center and right. If they Destroyer here, they lose left and center. If they Spectrum, they lose. Yeah. This is deterministic. And again, I'm not snapping because my opponent should know that they're beat here and they're retreating anyways. Yeah, this is if I snap, my opponent definitely retreats, so it's wrong to snap. That turn 5 was so critical this game, right? Where I like thought through the permutations of everywhere Professor X could go, and we didn't give my opponent a single path that Professor X could win for free. That's the reason we won this game, is because we thought about this card and we sequenced in a way that this card couldn't get a free lane. And then my opponent couldn't win the game because they didn't get a free lane with it. Solid start here for us. We get to go Iron Fist, move the next card to the left, into Human Torch, kick it over, double it to 4. Now, Adelan is actually one of the worst locations for this deck. Although, now that's just total pure Octane Gaslight. Okay, Elysium makes this a good bit less bad for us. I'm a snap, because our hand's about to be empty when Adelan happens. Normally, without something like Elysium flipping up, our hand is super clunky. Also, another reason to snap here, Sunspot means our opponent likely isn't killmongering, and we out-linear a lot of these big linear decks, I think. Oh my god, that's a free Ant-Man. That's a free Ant-Man. Okay, well, we actually just get to play out our entire hand here, and the only thing we're shuffling back is an Agent 13, so that's just actually gasoline. It's a big Gamora. That was Falcon that returned all of our 1-drops to our hands. Okay, now yeah, and then now the fun just continues, right? So I get to go. God, this is just so insane. So I get to go Angela into Moon Knight, into Nightcrawler, into Beast here. Moon Knight discards a card from their hand and we have nothing in our hand when it happens. And then Beast triggers and picks all 3 of these back up. What a just fantastically silly set of locations for us this set. Ton of fun here with Elysium into our deck full of 1 mana cards. Yeah, just absolutely nutty. I can like feel my brain melting as I make decisions. Yes, and we snapped early because things looked good for us. We got rid of their Odin.
Wind, aid my hand.
Okay, so 16 power Human Torch on the left has got to be good, right? And next turn, I'm just drawing Chavez, so there's no real reason to play out either of these right now. And then on the last turn, we'll have Chavez Agent 13. Okay, I mean, they could soak with this Sunspot. They're gonna need to soak a good bit here. So, we're winning the right pretty hard. They need to soak 4 energy to win left. So we'll Chavez middle to hedge here where we're most behind. She effectively adds 12 here because she's triggering Ant-Man. And then Agent 13 is going to add 4 more here on the right and 1 more here in the middle for the Collector. That was actually really close. We need a big play here in the middle. This is another reason why, again, Chavez is not just good in this deck because she adds consistency. A stat stick on turn 6 is so good at the end of everything this deck is doing. I mean, Nightcrawler gives us a small edge into Death's Domain, so that's nice. I don't think it's enough of an edge to snap, but, hey, Durka, thanks for the prime. I don't think this into Death's Domain is enough of an edge to snap here, but definitely playing it out. Nova Roma is lovely. So let's go Angela mid. We want to play Angela into a path that is safe to play out a full 4 cards into without much risk, because she wants us to play a lot of things. Extra, extra, read all about it. Professor X is here and I'm gonna shout about it. Okay, so what if I go Iron Fist into kick my Collector left? Iron Fist, a card that has good synergy with Angela. So he kicks our next card to the left after it reveals. So Collector will trigger Angela and then jump to the left here, which is excellent. And Death's Domain won't kill him because he's not being played there. He's being kicked into there. Mr. Something, thanks for the 3rd of the year. Those Prime subs keep me around. Appreciate the support. Professor X does not die into Death's Domain. We know they have that one. So I want to put something bigger into Death's Domain. So that way we can beat a Professor X here if they try and cheese that out. Okay. So let's go. Daily Bugle and Nova Roma are actually screwing with our hand here, right? Because I want to be able to go Hood, Agent 13, Falcon, pick them all up. But I actually can't do that, right? Because this will put a card in my hand, this will put a card in my hand, and then I can't pick up all 4 of these. I already have 4 cards. So I think we go Hood, Falcon, pick these 3 up, and then Agent 13. And then this means that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 extra cards in my hand here, 5. So we won't draw a card next turn, but that's fine. So I'm gonna have good things to play out anyways. You want to Hood the Death's Domain? No, we'll Hood the Death's Domain next turn, chat. This'll give me an extra demon. Yeah. So like now I get to go Hood here. And then we get to go Nightcrawler. I probably want to hedge the Professor X again here, right? Because we know that's coming. We do this, Professor X can't win anywhere. Is the ideal setup. Oh, you know what though? I want to, if I'm going to Blade, I want to Blade after I Hood though. Or before I Hood, so that way I don't discard the demon. Yeah. So this is secret. The permutations with this deck on turns 4, 5, and sometimes 6 are really complicated because of accounting for just the ordering mattering a lot of the time. They played one card. Is this the Professor? Did they Gamba? I feel like it's got to be something not Professor, right? Wow, they did try and Gamba there. Sure. And then with Chavez here in the center, she's going to kick up. We don't even die to Shang-Chi, right? Because we're... Oh, they're at 7. I guess I should have played Demon here to play around this. I forgot their Domino was bigger. We could get Shang-Chi in the middle and lose this. If I'm worried about Shang-Chi, do I actually just play second Demon? Because if they Killmonger, I probably still win, right? Because this will be 15, so I'll have 18 in the middle. I guess I could Cloak. Cloak hedges Killmonger and Shang-Chi, right? Well, does it? Because this is only 10, 13. No, that doesn't. So if they Shang-Chi this... I have 15. They have 15, but they probably have something else with their Shang-Chi. This was my Falcon from the Daily Bugle. I'm gonna do this. They have a few things that get us here regardless. 2 cards probably means Killmonger, unfortunately. Nope, means Shang-Chi. Okay, so do we win the tiebreaker then? Sick, we win the tiebreaker. That was another excellent endgame there. Where we looked at our thing, we talked about the permutations of what we have, we decided what we could play around and what we couldn't. We were able to play around the thing, and we won the game because we played around it. Do we snap Karmitage with Demon? Snap Karmitage with Demon, he says, before getting Killmongered later. Yeah, I think we just do this, right? We just get a bunch of demon tokens. That's true. Our opponent playing Sunspot bodes well for our demon surviving. That is accurate. I already snapped. All right. I mean, now it is worth noting, this location has a real risk to reward for it, right? So like, we're gonna fill the raft and get a free 6-drop, but there's some variance in what we get here, and we're only gonna have 12 power here. It might actually be right to wait to fill the raft for a turn. Oh, that's true. We do have Cloak that changes that dynamic. That's super true. Okay, so... Oh, and this is actually guess. So, I go Iron Fist into Human Torch into Cloak middle. And then the Human Torch is going to kick up to 4 when the Iron Fist moves it. And then it's going to slide back into the middle for Cloak, going to 8. All right, so now I kind of got to decide what locations do I want to play for here. Am I punting the Raft or am I punting Hala is kind of the core question I need to ask myself to start, I think. So Human Torch is definitely going into Hala. And the fact that I have Human Torch here kind of feels like it means that I'm supposed to play for this location. Claw's kind of interesting. So Claw makes me think I kind of want to fill this, and then they think they can win it, and then we, like, get them on the last turn. What if I actually put Hood here to leave myself some flexibility with where this Hulk goes? I kind of like this. And then we go, like, this here, this here, this here, and then I have Claw or Chavez plus Hulk on the last turn. Yeah, like, I like this. Dracula's kind of scary. Does Dracula mean I give up playing for mid? Is Hulk enough to win right, is the question. Hulk might not be enough to win right here. And honestly, they probably don't play into Karmitage. I think this is the line. This plays for all three. Yeah, I need to win one of these two. They just didn't play for the left. Okay, sweet. So we won the right. And we won all three. We played for all three and we won all three. Yes. Victory. Now, one of the things that's cute here with Mindscape is so long as I get my hand empty going into this last turn, we're guaranteed to draw Chavez. Mindscape switch happens before you draw for the turn. Which is nice. That's a large center path, Chet. I guess if I'm gonna bounce stuff, I kind of need to bounce it this turn. Because if I bounce it next turn, it ends up going over to my opponent. Because of Mindscape. So I think we play all these here. And then Iron Fist ends with Falcon here. So we'll have a 7-power Angela with nothing in play here. So we can trigger her 3 more times, getting her to 13, which is pretty great. Face the might of Asgard. Mjolnir. Okay, and we're not even gonna need to play. Why is Mindscape rough for us, Jet? Like we get to play around Mindscape like perfectly here. It's like not a big deal in the slightest. Why are we concerned about the Mindscape? Guess we do this, and then we play this here. Yeah, we're gonna draw Chavez next turn, shit. This is fine. Congratulations, you have made my hand worse and more expensive. Polaris could be relevant. Agent 13 could bite us.
Systems go.
Polaris could yank my Angela over to the left. It's pretty unlikely, but it's something to consider. So, because Polaris is something to consider, our opponent's retreated. But because Polaris pulling Angela is something to consider here, the last card I played last turn was Iron Fist. So I think what we would actually do here, if my opponent stayed in, is we would move Nightcrawler to the left, and then Odin middle, triggering Agent, getting another card in our hand, and then Odin would kick left, filling this location in so they can't Polaris Angela into it. So that way they have no shot of winning center, even if they want to gamble. Yeah. Sweet game. Mindscape, a card that we were able to play around there quite nicely. Location. One drop. One drop, please. One drop, please. It's a little sad that we lost Iron Fist and then drew Human Torch, but that's what it is. Hey, chat. We get to see my favorite trick this game. Elysium. Snap them before they know it's coming. I probably don't want a Green Goblin the same path I probably don't want a Green Goblin the same path I am Angela, because I'm already like winning here kind of hard. I think I want to play to the right here, so that way they can't get me with Professor X over here this turn. I might play two cards. This path would be bad. Play Professor X to the left. That's sad. Just a Hobgoblin, eh? Okay, so I think we're punting left at this point, right? And there's no real reason to play these out in advance because they're going to be zero cost cards next turn, right? There's no reason to let them know where these are going to be. We do want to play Collector out and Hood though, and I want to play this because it plays to Angela, and then we might move it and play more to Angela depending on what they do. Actually, I think I'd rather Collector mid, right? Because I might want to go Demon Chavez over here, actually. Okay, so they destroyed. We just do this and we like beat a Taskmaster even, right? Yeah. Nice deck. This deck probably has a decent Destroyer matchup because our deck like makes big numbers better than they do. Hey, thanks to one of the awesome folks that made it all the way to the end of the video. Remember, if you want to see more stuff like this here, smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'm absolutely loving all things Marvel Snap, and I'd love to do more of this, and your support makes that possible. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back again real soon for more Snap content here on YouTube.